And if these pictures have anything important to say to future generations, it's this. I was here. I existed. I was young. I was happy. And someone cared enough about me in this world to take my picture.
Hello and welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you'll ever listen to.
Booze, brews, and horror movie reviews. Your final bros have survived.
We are joined here by the hottest boy I've ever seen, Brian Hotboy LaCrosta.
Yes, I develop my photos. And happy to say that we are joined today by Shane, my feet are deceptively small, Smith.
Size 12, very normal size foot, I gotta say.
We're also here with Mike the Cannibal Gypsy.
Shane, you got a nice size foot. Those hands, though, very tiny. Very
And
tiny hands.
our producer, the Matt.
The Matt.
I just want my photo with some cyan.
There you go. Do you smell what the Matt's cooking?
Ooh, The
The Undertaker.
Oh, okay.
The Kane.
Yes. So happy to be here. We are the final podcast, that show that will bring you the best horror movie commentary. We review a film from the first scene to the last, wrap it up with a nice review. Usually those will go into the one, as if like you're doing one Sav Mart is a piece of shit, 10 Sav Marts is an incredible masterpiece of a film, and then wrap that up with the best kill of the movie. A lot of good fun, good time. Today's film, 1 hour photo.
Yes. He gets your photos done so fast if he likes you.
A movie that's not a conventional horror flick, kind of more of a
Thriller.
dark thriller.
It's a dark thriller.
Well, the quote you opened up with here is just was fucking depressing.
Very morbid.
Yeah.
This film is sad.
Very.
It's all about Cy the photo guy, played by Robin Williams, and his kind of searching to belong, almost like his needing to have a family, because he's single, he lives by himself, he doesn't have any parents, and we'll understand why very late into the movie. It's a very dark, depressing movie. It's interesting because Cy is the bad guy, but he's also like an anti-hero in terms of like,
In a way.
he's a creep and needs medication because he is stalking a family.
Yeah.
But his motivation of helping them towards the end, I get because of what he's been through, like the trauma he's experienced in his life. I understand why it made him the way he was.
Yeah, so when I'm watching this, I watched this one with Caitlin, and we were very divided on the opinions for Cy.
So
Okay.
my prediction on this is that she fucking hated him.
No,
No.
she was all about Cy, in like his quest to root out the unfaithful marriage, and was like taking that approach. Whereas I was more like, no, Cy's a criminal. Cy needs to be put away. Like, I understand
Right.
his background, and I think this movie does a good job of under the surface, you do get to know, and it does unravel his past.
Yes.
And how that kind of comes into play, and like why he is the way he is. I'm just thinking a man that has a wall collage of another family and then takes photos of someone's kids as a strong move is highly inappropriate and should not be interacting with people in public. That's my point.
He's definitely a criminal, and tons of people have gone through trauma without becoming what he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
for sure.
100%.
100%.
He, it's weird because like he's wrong and he does need to go to jail, but I feel the movie does a good job though of also making you feel bad for him, but he is a creep at the same time because like regardless of what you've gone through, you don't have a photo collage of a family. That's
Yeah.
weird.
I mean,
that's weirdo behavior.
That move he took to essentially elicit. It was really almost like a threat, right? They called it an indirect threat when he took pictures of his former boss's kids.
Yeah, that was
and
fucking
sent them
crazy.
Was not right.
No, he can't even indirectly. He directly threatened the boss's daughter. Like, that's crazy. That's actually a crime.
Yeah, yeah, that's not right.
Like, I actually think if he doesn't do that,
Yeah.
he's still weird because he has the photo collage of a family.
I mean, he's definitely-
and he actually sits outside of their house.
He's off.
Often he does it all the time.
He's also stealing from his company to try to get closer to this family, right?
Yeah.
Like he takes film to those camera rolls to put on his fucking wall.
Gives the kid a camera for his birthday.
Yeah.
He also follows this kid around to his like sports practices.
See, that's where it gets weird. But
He follows the mom in the mall.
yes, but it's like one of those things where because you know his background, right? It's on the surface, it's very creepy and strange. But when you learn more about him and what he's been through, he's just in his own mind. He thinks he's just trying to be nice and friendly and help this kid grow and not have this kid grow up into the adult he became, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's weird. It is weird the way he's doing it, but in his mind, he has the best intentions, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
In his mind, he is Uncle Si.
Yes.
Yeah.
He literally daydreams about it in
Yes.
the car.
He has this I want to say like his vision is he's this person that's a part of this family. He gets that it kind of gives him that sense of belonging, but like the execution to get there is wrong. Like
100%.
like for me, and like to Mike said, like look, like he did experience a horrible, traumatic thing in his past, but the actions he does take, they're nothing short of illegal. Like
No, 100%.
Oh, he commits crimes the entire film, constantly.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to be stealing other people's photos. One, you're not supposed to give away free merchandise. Two,
I mean,
It's
like,
like,
there's a
it's
lot.
like opening someone's mail.
Yeah.
It's literally against the law.
he's threatening, he's stealing, he's stalking.
Stalking,
Like, we
that's
can-
a big one. Stalking.
And I get it, like right, like we get it. I don't have to keep, going
Yeah.
and circling the wagon. Like we understand, and we'll get deeper into this
Yeah.
man's psyche and why he is the way it is. It's a tell on people that have been through abuse and like how that can affect you quite possibly in some of the worst
Yeah.
ways. We also don't know what it looks like for this dude if he just like continued doing what he's doing. Like maybe he gets to a point where like he does become a serial killer. Like
Yeah, that's the thing. This was like his first escalation. He could then move to actually like vigilante murdering
because
people.
like what's this? What happens if he tries to be part of this family and they're like, we want nothing to do with you.
Exactly.
Leave us the fuck alone.
It's very risky.
Like how does he accept that rejection?
Yeah,
we
no.
don't see it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, so like for like I'd seen this movie so many times like in my past. Like I used to rent it from the library all the time. And then upon rewatching it for this, I realized that like I forgot like all of this movie basically.
yeah, me too.
I remembered him. I thought he fucking killed somebody in this movie.
Yeah, he doesn't kill him.
He doesn't kill. I couldn't remember if it was like a sexual thing with this woman. It's not at all.
No. He just wants to be a part of a family.
And
And that's what it really is.
Right. And upon your like if you're like a first time watcher of this movie, you might get a hint that like he's like sexually obsessed with this woman, but it's not
not.
even close.
No.
Nothing like that.
He's obsessed with the idea of a family.
Right.
And that's why he takes it on the dad, because the dad is ruining the family.
He has it and he's throwing it away.
Exactly.
You don't know how precious that gift is because I would do anything for that sense
Exactly.
of relationship with the family.
I want to talk about the director, but do you want to jump into the spooky pit before?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So, without further ado, the spooky pit.
All right. We got 1 hour photo, right? Released in 2002. We all know that, right? All right, I get this. Like a mentally disturbed photo developer's interest in a suburban family takes a turn for the worst when he discovers a family secret. Film was directed by Mark Romanek. Directed by Mark Romanek, stars Robin Williams, Connie Nielsen, Michael Vartan, Dylan Smith, and Aaron Daniels. Your feet are deceptively small.
Very small.
Thank you. So, Romanek. I was curious who directed this movie, right?
Romanek did.
Yes. So I looked into him.
You looked into Romanek.
Yes.
Okay.
He is the greatest music video director of all time.
What's he done? He did a lot of shit.
He's won, I think it was like 3 Grammys or Emmys, whatever they are. He did 99
Grammys.
Problems by Jay-Z. He did Coach Ice by Audio Slave. He did like pretty much all the big music videos from like the 90s to early 2000s.
Oh, wow.
Like he was the guy directing them.
And then he did 1 Hour Photo.
Yep. Because he had a passion for photography. Some of his photography is actually in museums in France. So he made a movie about photography.
So this dude's just talented.
Yeah, this is just a really awesome dude. And he only directed like 2 other movies, nothing really notable. But I just thought it was fascinating that he went from doing 99 Problems by Jay-Z to just for like showing Robin Williams in an awesome serious role. Like,
I wonder if he had a plan, like casting into this. Like, did they plan on casting Williams? Like, I feel like this is a movie that they were like, hey, like we want to take someone like Robin Williams because he can make this like super sad.
yeah.
You take like a guy that brings so much joy to people and like just put him in this role that's 100,000% despair.
And that's the thing, and I think it is an intentional casting. That I don't know for sure. That's my thought. Just because like you need the right person to make this guy sympathetic. And I think Robin Williams has that. Like,
I mean, it worked. Caitlin wishes she was relatives with this guy. So.
she wants Uncle
she saw the guy that cheated on his wife as the great evil of the movie. So not the fact that Sai was threatening people with pictures of their daughters.
I mean, they're both wrong.
Correct.
Yes.
But I mean, Sai's a criminal, though.
In theory, in actuality, Sai is worse because yes, this guy cheated on his wife and is a scumbag, but that guy didn't hold a man and woman at knife point in a hotel room.
Yeah.
Well, the worst thing Sai does is, take pictures of kids.
It's weird.
It's
Because-
not great. It's not great.
It's not great. I think it's such a gray area because it's like the one time where it's not done with literally any sexual like
the intent is not sexual,
but it's weird.
but I would also say like the intent is also threatening because
Oh, the one with the daughter is definitely
you would
threatening.
never send it to your old boss without intent to act on it.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, the worst thing he does in this film is stalk and take pictures of his boss's daughter.
Yeah, the boss had it coming though. He was a dick.
He really wasn't though. like I feel like he was totally in the right.
Yeah, because of the whole like
Think of-
stealing the photos.
Dude,
thing.
he stole so much film from
He
him.
did
Dude,
steal
that's
that film.
how much. Slap a dollar amount on that. How much money you think from all the fucking photos he's stealing?
Yeah, I have no idea. It's 2002. I didn't get the photos developed. I have no clue what
I know, but
I actually don't even know what it costs to get photos.
Shane,
developed
like
back
I
then.
understand what you're saying. I feel like they tried to paint him as a bad guy,
Yeah.
but he really wasn't. Like at the end of the day, you have a business to run. You find out this guy's stealing from you.
Totally
Like, you-
justified firing.
100%.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was just the camera, he'd let that slide. But
And you know why I think he's even more of kind of a scumbag? He blamed it on the fucking other guy.
He did do that.
He blamed it on the other associate who he was training, who he trusted him.
Yeah,
He's like his mentor.
Yoshi turned out to be a really nice guy. Like he wished him well at the end. I think why he did it is because that job was literally all he had.
I know.
But no, at the end of the day, the man he's going to jail.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I do get it. Like, the idea is like, let's paint this guy as a sympathetic figure, because he's had like, let's find out, right? Let's find the big bad in his life, and you
Yeah.
do find that out. It's just that, yeah, like this is more of like for me. I just never really was there because everything he seemed to touch, he had an unethical point for. Like, I just don't think he did everything with good intentions, I guess.
Well, no, he definitely didn't. Like it was like his own good intentions, if that makes sense. It was like selfish good intentions because he just wanted the family in the worst way possible. That's the
Yeah.
issue.
And
He should have just met a girl.
I think like this movie has a lot of like key points. And Matt, because we do have the dog in the room, Matt is on complete dog duty because if he does not pat the dog is gonna bark and we will not have an episode.
Yeah.
So Matt is literally he's doing God's work right now.
You're doing
Yeah.
a good job, Matt.
He's just a scratching dog.
Yeah. But this movie's gonna be a lot of that because like if we were to just talk about this movie in a linear capacity like we always do, this review's gonna be 20 minutes. Like it's gonna be super short because it's a lot of just like him interacting with the lady at the shop, goes back home, super sad, envisions he's a part of this family. There's the big blow ups at the end, and then like that's like really it.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where you have to talk more about the idea of the movie, his thought process, and then there are some key points of the movie.
There are,
which I do want to talk about one in particular now because we've talked about how he would sit outside of the family's house. I think one of the coolest scenes of the movie is when they show him like go into the house, and he's like looking through their stuff. And when he poops, like, I legitimately start laughing, I'll be honest. But then, like, they show him where he's drinking a beer on the couch.
He's relaxing. Was he watching football?
Football. He's just watching. I think it was either the Eagles or the Jets because it was a green team, so it had to be one of those two. Because it wasn't Packers green. It was like Eagles or Jets green. So he's watching football, and then the family's coming home, and it looks like he's panicking. But then they're like, oh, Uncle Si.
Yeah, that was a really well shot. Because you're just like, oh my God, like, what the fuck does he think he's doing? Like, he's going to get caught. It's just super embarrassing. And, like, they're going to call the police on him.
Yeah.
But it's, like, more of, like, acceptance. And they do cut back to him in the car, like, envisioning this happening. How it would happen, I have no idea.
It's a daydream done right.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know for the longest time it was a daydream.
Me neither. I like I said, I think that was just kudos to the way that it was cut up, edited, and shot was like done like really well.
And that's the thing. And I think it helps having a music video guy do a movie.
100%. I even think this is interesting. Yeah. He's literally like watching The Simpsons. This is like the pinnacle family show of our generation.
Yeah, and like Robin Williams does such a good job of like the sadness in his eyes.
Look at his face, dude.
Yeah. Like, and that's what I'm saying. And that's why it's so crazy.
Dude.
That fucking reveal.
But this is the thing. And I think this is why this movie is so well done. Is because it does that to make you feel sad for him. But it instantly pans to this to make you also be like, oh, this man's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it does a good job of kind of giving you that mixed emotion of the movie.
I like how they shoot that shot because it's almost like done in one sequence where like they're showing The Simpsons, they're showing his reaction to watching The Simpsons, and they're showing the wall, which is in his head as he's watching The Simpsons.
Yes.
Like, you know that's like the byproduct.
Yes.
Literally a whole wall of photos of this other family he's trying to be with. Like, it's kind of nuts. Also, that dude's an alias. Just saying. Jennifer Garner, so you know it's real.
Yeah. Real show.
Actually, that was a Workaholics reference for Darius Rucker.
Darius Rucker said it, so you know it's real.
Got it.
But he is an alias. Your favorite show, Shane. JJ Abrams.
Never watched it, actually.
Never watched Alias,
watched
huh?
Alias.
JJ?
I'm sorry.
I do like how initially you think. So they show a coffee table of photos. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're like, oh, this fucking dude has a coffee table of photos of this family. And then, nope, it's a fucking wall.
Photos of that family. I also like, so another thing he does is he eventually at some point goes garage sale shopping, and he like buys photos there.
Buys a photo of his mother.
And he pretends it's like photos of his mom or photos of like his family, and we'll just talk about it at this point. There's no reason not to. We're all over. We're just talking about the movie.
There.
So the big reveal at the end towards the end of the movie is he was sexually exploited as a child by his father, who would take photos of him and take photos of him in inappropriate ways, and he vents about that idea to the police. They even foreshadow earlier in the movie about it, where he's talking about photos, and he's like, we get all kinds of photos. He's like, but anything with animal abuse or children, I instantly report to the police. So it's like he automatically, you get that he is a guy of like that. He reports this to the police, and like he has an underlying hatred of pedophilia.
He's got like some type of moral compass, but still
Yeah.
feels like he's
100%.
I also just,
Bending it a bit.
I also just think that was store policy.
Right. But I think he also would, like, even if it wasn't, I think he obviously, for obvious reasons, hates.
like he tries.
yeah.
He like tries to do the right
Yeah,
thing.
he hates anything that would harm children. I actually think he more so hates the dad for cheating on the mom, not because of the mom. I think it's the idea of breaking up that
Yeah.
family for the child.
Like, what's it going to do to these kids? 'Cause
Exactly.
He doesn't have a relationship with the kid. He did go to the baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
Probably wants to coach that team. Like,
Well, he buys or maybe even steals a toy the kid's looking at in the store one day.
Yeah.
and
because the
then,
dad wouldn't buy it, right?
and then the kid doesn't take it because his parents won't allow it.
Which it makes sense. You can't just, if you're a kid, you can't just say, yeah, the photography guy gave me this.
Right. There is also, like, speaking of trying to paint him as a sympathetic character, there's that scene where the kid, he's in bed with his mom, and before he goes to bed, he talks about how he feels bad for Sai.
Yeah. Well, because, like you said, he is a sad person. He's a sad character. Everything you learn about him is sad. But, like I said, I do think the movie does a good job of also painting him as the villain because, like I said, just the scene we just talked about. The fact that it shows him sad but instantly shows the insane mural is like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's sad, but like this is crazy kind of thing. And then it just keeps going on and until he starts to go overboard. And I think it does a good job of showing him that kind of descent into madness because he has that dream where he's alone in the store and his eyes start bleeding and then he covers his eyes and the blood shoots out.
Yeah.
And kind of like showing that like he's gone over the edge at this point kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is a fucking great scene.
Oh, the Uncle Sai part of their family Christmas.
Yeah.
I do think it's an interesting scene also for Sai when he discovers that the husband is a cheater.
Yes.
Because he does it when he processes the film of some lady, right?
That came in, yeah.
Some other lady that came in, and he was like looking through it, and he discovered in that role of developed film that she was hooking up with that husband.
Yeah. And then he slides those pictures into the kids' film reel return so the mom can see them.
Yeah, I mean, it was the easiest way to get it to them without like directly saying it. And like he even follows them home to gauge their reaction. And
Insane.
She, like, her
That's
cards, like-
that's insane. To like follow them home, that is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's not great. He even follows them back to the house to see them react, and it's very clear that she doesn't bring it up to the husband,
Yeah.
like from like what he's looking at, and he's like upset by that. What this movie does, like towards the end, you're like thinking of like how is this gonna play out? Like he initially looked like he was interested in her, then you realize he's more or less just interested in being a part of the family connection, and like at the end it's just like, is he trying to take the husband away, or is he just trying to say, yo, you fucked up and I need to make sure that these kids are okay, so I want you to like do better.
Yes. And I'll be honest, when he has he has the whole plan. He gets them to the hotel. He pretends he's room service. He does all that. I thought he was going to kill them. Especially cuz like I think what they do really good in this scene as well is the way he's yelling at them, where he's like, this isn't real, simulate it, take it, like put it in your mouth, dude. It's all things I imagined was like what his dad would yell at him when he was taking the photos of him. And I think that is all of that built up, like all the stuff he's been pressing down his entire life coming out there, and he was almost becoming his dad, forcing them to do. So it's not like he internalized it towards children. He just internalized it towards like people who ruin families almost.
Yeah, like when he goes in there with his elaborate plan and they're like in the hotel together, like basically naked.
Yes.
He tells them to get into specific various positions to take pictures that are not shown on screen, but you know that he did take
The photos.
photos. And then there's the scene at the end where when at the police station where they show you like he took pictures of just like various things in the hotel room.
Yeah.
There are theories about that. I mean, I do think it happened. I think it happened exactly how it was shown.
Yeah.
But there are theories that like when he was in the bathtub, he just took photos of the bathtub he was in and actually never did any of that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I mean, so it goes to what he talks about very early on in the movie, where he's like, everyone takes photos of like happy moments, or no one just takes photos of a used Band-Aid or
Things you don't want to
ta-
remember.
and
Yeah.
that's why it's kind of interesting to think he did just take photos at the end of just the miscellaneous things around the room, like.
Yeah.
But he also could just be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I took it that, like, at the end of the day, it was a bigger loss for him to see this family ripped apart
Yes.
and potentially, like, maybe use this as more of like it's not appropriate. Like, he threatened the family, but as an indirect threat to the husband to say, like, you have such a good thing, don't fuck this up. Like, and gives him that, like, push to, like, work to figure it out.
Yeah.
Versus, like, actually going in there. Do you think he had, like, a knife or something?
He
right?
did. He held
To-
them at knife point, and that's how he made them do it
for the threats, but like as the threat, but not to actually like murder him. And it's not revealed until the very end. But I mean, that's at least what I gathered.
No, I actually agree with you. I completely agree with you. Did you think he would get away? Like when he like doing the whole running out of the hotel, going through the back kitchen, running down the stairs. Did you think he would escape the police or not?
Well, the opening shot of the
Sure,
show.
always him in
That's the only reason.
custody.
I don't know what happens after that, but no, just because of the beginning.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I forgot about the beginning. That's a good point.
I didn't know also in watching this, I'm like, how, you know, when they do these opening sequences, you're just like, how are they going to get to that point? I didn't know if that was the end. I didn't know if that was somewhere in the middle, but like, of course, as you get to the end, you realize like they're going to be leading up to that.
Yeah, actually, this movie's good because it has a lot of good dialogue. I love the talk he has with the police officer at the end, where he goes on his rant, his anti-predator rant, essentially, and like he vents because he doesn't say himself. He never refers to the things he's talking about as things he went through. He just talks about it in a way, and it's just like, you know, it's what happened to him, but he never says that. And the cop, I think you even said, picks up on that. Because
Yeah.
the cop completely 180s
Oh, definitely.
on how he approaches Sai after he says all that, which makes me think he'll go to jail, but maybe not like more of a
And
self-help kind of
it
like.
might honestly just be probation or something.
Yeah.
Like
I-
years of probation, maybe.
But with like rules where it's like if you don't see a therapist or if you don't do things, you will go to jail kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because, he committed crimes, but he didn't actually hurt anyone or like he held people to knife point. So I guess technically they could get him for, I guess that would be kidnapping, right? So there is that.
Yeah. But I mean, it is without like a lot happening on screen, it is like a thought-provoking movie. And like I said, I think they just like Robin Williams does a really good job of blurring the line of like sympathy versus like you're also doing things that are not totally legal.
Yeah.
And you
Oh, well,
blur the lines of someone that's a criminal.
The threatening the boss, I said the boss was an asshole, but you can't just go to someone's house and send pictures of their daughter to your boss. That is just not, that's bad.
Yeah,
That's really bad.
I don't know.
That is really bad.
For me, like, it's just so easy to paint like a manager as a bad guy for me. Like, I don't know. I feel for managers. Like, they got a lot going on. You have people like that are like not there. They're calling out. Like, they got a bunch of shit. And then you have some dude that's fucking stealing from you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is your reaction to be like, I'm going to keep you on staff with just like, I'm going to like a little slap on the wrist and like, you'll do better next time? Like, we don't know how much he stole, but like, you definitely stole a lot. And he tried to mask it and he lied. Like,
yeah, we do see evidence of how much he stole. That there is like, what would you say, like 200 photos on his wall? Like,
yeah, at least it was a lot. And then not to mention like
I mean,
the other
who
cameras.
knows how much deeper it goes?
Yeah. And he was also like planting photo. Like he was just doing a lot of stuff. And I don't know how that was actually remotely not detected earlier on.
Also, like maybe like smaller things, like, you know, he's taking, you know, lunch breaks that are like an hour too long.
Yeah, they mentioned that for like the stalking piece.
Yeah.
And on his lunch break, he's just staring at a photo. It's like,
Well, that's where he imagines himself at the Christmas with them.
yeah.
He just does some really painfully cringy things that we're talking about. The stalking, like there's also the piece about him going to the baseball field, which is really cringy. And then there's like the fact that he tries to set it up because he saw the book she was reading, that he bought the same book and
buys
they
the
had
same exact
commonality
book,
when he stalked her at the food court.
Yeah.
He's at the first page of the book. He's like, "Oh my god, this is like a great read. I read all of fucking Chopker's work."
Oh, Deepak, yeah.
Old Deepak Chopra. Oh God, yeah. You don't pull this off if you don't get someone like Robin Williams though to play this character.
Yeah, like I said, I think that's why I think they were going in with it because everybody has a certain expectation. And this is also like 2002 Robin Williams, so it's just like post his like beloved family feature 90s. Like,
Yeah.
you know what you're getting from him. So to see him in this like a complete downer
Yeah.
of a role.
So like this is what started his trend, right? Because around this time he did this. Then he would go on do Insomnia, right?
Insomnia was before this.
Was it really?
I think so.
What was those? Because
think
this was
it-
02.
I think it was like, wasn't it like 99 or 2000?
I thought Insomnia was in the 2000s. Maybe it was 2000. Matt, look up Insomnia.
I'm actually going to say it was 99, dude.
Really? I thought it was an 00 movie or
My guess,
I think it's-
Insomnia is early 2000s.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go 01 for Insomnia
I'm going to slap an 04 on
because
that.
I thought Memento was 90.
2000.
Was
2002.
Oh, you guys are
Insomnia
right.
was 2002.
So that was after Memento?
Yeah.
Memento's definitely 2000.
Yeah. So this came out So he did this and Insomnia in the same year,
That's pretty impressive.
and then there was another serious movie he did around the same time. I think it was before these, called The Final Cut, where he plays a person who cuts film for funerals. And I think I mentioned this before.
Cuts
on the
film
podcast.
like photography?
So like if you give him your film, you know how like funeral homes now do like slideshows with pictures,
Yeah.
you give them on a flash drive. Before flash drives, you had to give them the actual film and he would cut it and make like those things. But
He's in that?
he's the main character because he's the one who does the film cutting, but he finds a murder on the film, and then the people are after him because he found they murdered the person. Actually, it's a really good film. I think it's called The Final Cut. I'm gonna look up the year real quick, or Matt can look up the year. It's not In the Cut with Meg Ryan. This is The Final Cut.
Oh, in the cut, Meg Ryan, where she's naked the whole fucking time?
Yeah, that movie sucked. That movie really sucked.
Where was the detection? So, like, you know the girl that he came in to get her photos
04.
developed? The girl that he's cheating with? There was something he saw to know to, like, look for those photos.
I think it was a family, like, softball outing or some shit.
She was in the. Yep, she was in the
Her
family
picture,
softball.
right?
Yeah.
She was in that
Recognized her.
family softball
That's
outing.
right. Recognized her. She was a customer. That makes sense.
Yeah, he also has a really creepy conversation with the dad earlier on.
Yeah, because he knows the dad, even though he wouldn't have known the dad because they've never met.
Right.
He's like, "Oh, I seen you in the photos."
Yeah, and he makes a really, like, weird, like, comment about how beautiful the family is.
Yeah.
Yeah, this scene.
The thing is,
Yeah, I feel like I've known Jake for years.
Yeah, he literally says that. I feel like I've known your son since birth or
he
some
has
shit.
though, because technically,
True, but why
'cause he's
would
been
you ever
given-
say that to somebody?
he doesn't have social skills. That's
Yeah.
the thing, and that's I hate that it sounds like I'm like fully standing up for him, but it's just like he's just a weird dude. It's just like one of those things where it's like whenever you have a conversation with someone and you're like, why the fuck would they say that? They just don't process that that's fucking stupid to say.
Understood, but at the same time, like, you see this man, you know that those shoes are not being bought for style and they're for primarily soul support.
You think he's got some plantar fasciitis going
There's
on?
no way you buy those for style.
No,
Yeah.
no shot. This guy also, I said to Mike, looks like a discount Tom Cruise.
Oh, and Michael Varner.
Yeah. I don't know. He's just giving me like Tom Cruise in like Magnolia vibes.
That's fair. You got Bill Lumberg up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just look at him. This is fake Tom Cruise.
You think he wants to be Tom?
He wants to be Tom so bad. That man is like going to Scientology meetings on the reg to be Tom. That's like
That's pretty much it.
that's
Yeah,
it. That
we
is
ran
pretty
through
much
the
it. It just ends with him talking to the police officer at the end of the movie. We really hit everything. Like, it's a great thriller that makes you feel a lot of different emotions, whether you are Caitlin and your team Psy, or you're Brian and your team Rational. This guy's a stalker. Like,
It's all about like, what do you think is worse, cheating or
Like morality or
stalking?
like morality or criminal behavior. Like
yeah. I love it.
Just don't go to fucking soccer practice if it's not your kid.
yeah, it's a little weird. Like
It is weird.
If the family's like, hey, like you want to come along and like watch Jake's baseball game,
Yeah,
it's a
don't
little
just
different
show
than
up.
just like showing up and being the only person there for a practice.
Yeah, that's so creepy. It's just it's very, very creepy. With that said, I'm gonna give this movie my an 8. I love this movie. I don't know. It could just be nostalgia because I've always loved it, and I've always loved Robin Williams and his serious work. I think his comedic work was great, like Patch Adams, Flubber classics, but him and his serious work, like Insomnia, is such a good underrated Nolan movie. I could watch this again. Like this has a rewatchability for me, even though I don't know. The acting, just the emotions it makes you feel, the intensity of the ending, and like, is he gonna murder these guys? I think it's all very well done. I think the movie's also very well shot, and like I said, I think that helps because it was a guy who has done music videos. He knows how to like film.
Yeah.
So I think that helps the like. Even like when he like we talked about The Simpsons, where it's like focusing on the sadness of his eyes and panning and just all. Even when it just pans to the wall and it shows all the different photos, I think it's all very well done. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a very strong 8 out of 10.
Yeah. I also really like the scene where he starts
Crossing the faces out.
scraping off the husband's
Yeah.
face on all the photos. As far as a review, I give it 8 Robins.
8 Robins. Okay. Tweet.
Yeah. I think not like
Bird.
that everybody else is like not good in it. I think he does a hard carry.
Oh, without a doubt. I actually like the mom too. I think the mom does a very good job, like
Yeah, they all
interacting
do.
with him.
But yeah, there's some really dope shots in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like the 2 dream sequences that are in it. I actually think that the scene where he's like in the house is probably my favorite scene.
It's so good.
But also like I didn't understand the blood out of the eye scene.
Yeah.
There's definitely some psychology behind that, but yeah, he's fucking great in this movie. He's a great dramatic actor. Yeah, it's shot well, it's acted well. Yeah, it's creepy. I like the concept of it because, like, it's true. Back in the day, the person that's, developing your photos
Sees all your film.
sees everything about most parts of your life.
Yeah.
There's also like he's got sort of like almost like a childlike quality about him.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about like people not like appreciating the small things, which is why I think the movie ends how it does. With just pictures of a fucking a sink knob or something.
Yeah, and that's why he wants to look at them.
Yeah. This is just a great like character study movie. Yeah, it's just all around well done. 8.
Yep, good character study. I agree. I have 1 Hour Photo as a 7. Really enjoyed the film. Definitely strong character development leading all the way to the end. I am going to say I think the movie could have been considerably more tense at times. Like I know there's like a lot of awkward moments, but really up until the end, there's like only like, I guess the scene at the house. But I feel like in a movie that's dark like this, I feel like they could have gone a little further and made it a little bit even more awkward than they did. But I mean, suffice it to say, I think they still did a pretty good job in breaking down this person's psyche as he's like going through the motions of getting closer to this family while kind of like sprinkling the seeds of his upbringing. I do think I mean I really do like the fact that he took the picture of that person and made it their mom. I think that's just like lore into like his character and like where he is and in dealing with a lot of the shit that happened in his past. But other than that, yeah, I think it's a really good movie. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I'd like to see Robin Williams in more of these roles throughout the 2000s versus like what we're used to seeing from him, because he did a really good job in these more serious character-based movies.
Yeah. I like this. I like how he doesn't end up a killer though,
Yeah.
and I like how it was never anything like sexual in any way with the kids or the mom. It's like it's all about like sides. Like, is his boss a dick or is he a terrible employee? Like, is he a fucking criminal or does he just want to be part of a family?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot of gray area. He's definitely a criminal, though.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that he is definitely a criminal.
It's like, what do you see in the photo? No, it puts it on you.
Right.
yeah, like the ink blot.
Yeah.
Rorschach.
Yeah.
Long legs.
Matt, give me a rating real quick. I know you have dog, but just let's hear a
How
rating.
was dog duty, Matt? Was that fun?
It was something.
Yeah.
I would say I'm gonna say I'll give it an 8. Pretty much you guys encapsulated it pretty well. The overall the story was great. The way the portrayal by Robin Williams was great. I think the fact that he wanted to be a part of the family, as well as trying not to see a family break up. But I do think it was a very good movie overall. I think you guys pretty much nailed everything I would have said. I can see where you're coming from, Brian, in terms of like a little more intensity to the situation. But overall, I do think that it was a very good movie, and I think it encapsulated the psyche very well, which was probably the whole premise of the movie, was to really just make people really, I guess, like the character but hate the character.
yeah,
so to speak.
no, you're right.
So, yeah.
I mean, definitely like at certain points, like
Chow.
you do. Is Chow falling down?
When Chow is going down, he's yelling timber.
Oh God. Because like, you definitely feel bad for him.
Yes.
Like when you first see the inside of his like pretty shitty apartment.
Yeah.
And like he's eating alone, and like his face when he's watching what should be a very happy show. So you feel bad for the guy, but then he just keeps doing
Yeah, he digs himself deeper.
doing stuff you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. Puts himself in a super awkward positions.
There is no necro, huh?
There's no kills. in the
No one
movie.
dies in this movie.
I guess you could kind of like say like put his innocence into the Necronomicon.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna put size innocence. Size innocence. We are sorry that your dad was was basically the dad from the Butterfly Effect. Really bad dude, just taking photos, shouldn't. Sad. We feel for you. But with that said, I think we have come to the group consensus. You still need just a little bit of prison time. Just a little bit. So, Size, Soul, welcome to the Necronomicon.
What a name, right? Psy.
I like the name.
It's short for Seymour,
It is.
which I would never have gotten. I thought it would have been short for Silas. Yo, you gotta fucking stop. You're fucking annoying. Love you, but you're so annoying. You look literally the most annoying dog ever.
You can't get attention all the time, you know?
Like literally, look what our fucking producer's doing right now.
He's on
This is
his
not what the job was meant for.
This is Matt.
like
Matt, you're
I
pale,
wanted Matt like to like
be on his knees.
Jesus Christ. No, like constantly be like using his hands for typing and stuff and looking up information when we demand him to, not for petting a dog.
Yeah, no, it's way too easy, right?
Yeah, his
This is crazy.
Insane. What are we doing next week, Shane?
Yeah, so next week we are doing a Matt request.
The Matt?
The Matt. We're doing
Matt quest.
Christine.
That's a Stephen King.
The
flick,
Stephen
right?
King vehicle.
Oh, that's actually fucking wild.
Wait, is that movie about a car or something?
It's actually
Yes, it
not
is.
about a girl. It's about a car.
Yes, the car's name is Christine.
Oh, so I like what you did there.
Yes. So, with that said, we are the final podcast signing off, and we will see you next week as we're cruising the world. Yeah.
Holy hell.
Baby, you a song. Make me wanna roll
My windows down,
no.
Christine.
No, it's in the N64.
This is the final podcast. New reviews every Monday. We look forward to next week to review the Stephen King classic. However, if you haven't, please reach out. Suggest a movie for us to review at finalpodcast@yahoo.com. But also, please subscribe on the YouTube and check out every Monday on Spotify and Apple Podcasts to listen to our shit. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Dog.